Hey guys, what is going on? This is your old pal CHH. Today we are looking at a new 4K film. Now the thing that's going to be interesting about this is it gives me a chance to talk about 16 mil. It's always an interesting topic of conversation. One of the questions I want to ask with this review is, does 16 mil look good on 4K? I see people that are on both sides of the fence all the time. Some people say it's a lost cause. Some people say it doesn't improve much. And other people say they like it as much, sometimes more than 35. It's just one of those things. I have an opinion, of course, but I want to talk about that. But before we get into that sort of stuff, here it is, guys. The Deadly Spawn 4K release from Synapse. Now, this movie has had some releases in the past. There's a DVD from Synapse that I have. And it's okay. Honestly, it almost made it seem like an SOV movie on the DVD. And I think there was even a Blu-ray. I might have it. I can't remember. But I know that I've never been happy with any release of Deadly Spawn. Similar to movies like Basket Case, it wasn't until Arrow Video got their hands on that, and I got to see that movie in super crisp high definition. I was like, oh, this is a movie. It looks like film. I thought this was just a cheap videotape movie. You know, I always have a lot to learn when it comes to stuff on 16. Sometimes it ends up getting edited on tape. They transfer the whole movie to tape, and then they edit the movie from that, and that obviously gives it a look. And other times, just taking 16 stuff, I feel like going straight to VHS or cheap pan and scan DVDs, however they do it, it has that appeal as well, or has that look and style. But this is a 16mm movie, Deadly Spawn, on 4K UHD. Now, what is Deadly Spawn? Well, let's set this up in a brief scenario. You know, you've got this alien thing that crash lands on Earth and finds its way into this nice little house in the basement. Now, this thing starts to grow and looks as gnarly as what you see right here on the cover. This is actually not a misleading cover. This is actually a good representation, a visual representation of the Deadly Spawn. This is like one of the most well-done, modestly made films. I think the budget for this thing was like $25,000 or something. Obviously, the money was put into the special effects and probably the film stock to shoot the movie. But the beauty of movies like this, I say this all the time, and I genuinely mean it. When you watch B-horror films, you don't need everybody to be an incredible actor, but you need them all to be the same quality of actor, in sync with each other. I always use this as an example. Leprechaun 2 is a great B-horror film, but the fact is that the girl that's like the love interest in the movie is a insanely bad actress. But she's like distractingly bad in the movie. You get somebody that was on par with everybody else in there, then the movie would have been Leprechaun 2 could be my favorite. But like this movie has a bunch of actors in it that just, they're all in sync. They all have the same level of quality of acting. And for some reason, whether it's great acting or not so great acting, when everybody's in sync, it's a lot easier to digest what you're seeing and watch it. Not to say that I think anybody in Deadly Spawn is abjectly bad. You know, they're all modest, but they're all doing. And the thing I love about this movie is the fact that there's like grandmas in it. Like this is this bloody, gory B-horror film with severed heads, little spawns leeching on the grandmas. Like these grandmas went for it in this way. That's what I love about Deadly Spawn. It gives you like a different kind of cast in this. But this movie is so fun. One of my favorite scenes of this movie has to be the little kid when he finally goes down to the basement for the first time and he's just stuck mesmerized at the spawn and he's watching the little demon spawns move around to the left, right, then the big giant one staring him down. And they did a great job of doing all the lighting in here to make the spawn look so huge and menacing. Obviously, they're hiding probably cables and wires and all the other stuff that they're doing in this. But as far as like modestly budgeted, small, minor films being made, horror films, I think this one's done a cut above. I feel like Deadly Spawn is a pretty classic film in the genre. Like, I don't think people outside of the horror world really know it. But if you have people that are getting into it and you tell them, hey, you want to watch a great drive-in horror film, give them a double feature of like It's Alive and then show them Deadly Spawn and get their gore fix. And I think that'd be a great drive-in double feature for people. What a fun movie. I think for what this movie is, it's 2 thumbs up. That's just me. I'm a huge fan of it. I think most horror fans can enjoy it. Whether they love it or not, it's a whole different story. But what can I say? I love the Deadly Spawn. Now, the question is, how does this movie look? That's the big thing. Like I said, getting back into this with stuff that's shot on 16. And this is a brand new 4K restoration from the uncut 16mm camera negative by Synapse Films. I have had great experience with stuff on 16. I'll give you 3 examples of stuff that I love on 16 that's restored in 4K. Basket Case, Flesh Eater, the Bill Heinzman zombie film, and this is another example. Just, I genuinely love it. I think that this looked great. But the thing I do notice about 16 that's also of interest to discuss is the fact that, you know, and this is actually a positive for me, it actually gives it a grindhousey feel because I feel like 16 blown up is probably grainier in some sense than 35. Maybe, maybe not. But I love it. It does have this pristine, crisp look, but it still feels so grindhousey and drive-in, but at the same time, that super level of sharpness and detail. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds. Like, it still has a vintage look that I love. Stupid fly. And then it still looks pristine. To me, this is like, I could sit here and say, oh, this is the end-all, be-all release for Deadly Spawn. But the reality is, I think this is really the only release that's good of it. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, and I'm not blaming the previous releases. We're talking old DVD releases. And then that Blu-ray release, I don't even remember if that was Synapse who put it out. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But, like, you know, maybe that company didn't have the resources to do it right. But this release, it looked fantastic. I have to give the picture quality of this 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. Now, the only thing I'll say is the jackass who did the cinematography, there's a couple moments, particularly one shot where it's a camera going into a bedroom door and you've got the older siblings and a girl and another guy in there just kind of talking back and forth. There's 2 camera shots in that. There's one where it's close up on the girl and this wide shot where you see the bedroom. The jackass had the camera out of focus that whole time on the wide bedroom shot. When it goes to the close-ups of the girl talking, super crisp and sharp. But then there's that one moment where it's just one shot, wide-angle shot of them, and it's all out of focus. It reminded me of Mad Men. What are you going to do? It's not like it happens often. It's just one moment of a scene that lasts maybe about a minute, 2 minutes, and it's kind of funny. So what can you do? But other than that, guys, I thought the picture quality of this was fantastic. Now let's talk about this release. Let's look at it. This release was kind of pricey. I can't deny that. Now, could Synapse charge less for this? Possibly. I mean, I'm sure that they probably can. Here's the one thing I'll say. If I am going to have to pay 60 frickin' bucks for, trust me, the very last damn release I'm getting for Deadly Spawn, this is it. And I think Synapse knows that too. Of course, they'll have a standard version that'll come out after this, like they do. They do the collector's versions. Once they kind of sell out, then they'll put out their standard version 6 to 8 months later. That's the way they've been doing this for a while now. But for a release like this, it does feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck. So let's have a look at it, guys. There's the cover. This is like the, what do you call these? These J cards. I guess I'll keep this one because it has all the info on the back. Let's take that off, though. We'll talk about the special features in a second. I got to say that this box does look super nice. Look at the art on the back. I don't even remember them talking about putting this film out. I feel like it just came out. What we have is our booklet, our Deadly Spawn booklet, which doesn't have a very, very strong smell. But when I flipped through this, I was kind of surprised at just how much writing and pictures are in here. This is a very well-done book. I got to be honest with you. Kind of a cut above. Like, this is Umbrella Entertainment quality stuff in terms of the appeal when you look through them, all the pictures, and look at all that. So the booklet is a super nice touch. And then, of course, they give you a poster, which the poster has the DVD. I have the DVD somewhere around here for Deadly Spawn, but there you have it. The poster has that art on it, and then this foreign art, which is great. You know. Here's the release itself. It comes with a Blu-ray and a 4K. Look at that. That looks great. And then look at that severed head shot. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. Here's one thing I say. I do like the cases that Synapse uses. They don't really use like just little 4K cases. These are close to DVD size, and I just love the feeling of a DVD case. They just feel better in the hands. They do come with, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm sorry. I really don't feel like flipping through these. I guarantee you nobody's going to say, I can't decide if I'm going to get this or not now because Christian didn't go through the cards. You know how this shit works. Oh, I give you a Synapse Films 2025 product catalog. Obviously, this is self-explanatory. This goes through all the releases that are available. You can reverse the art. I'll pop out the disc so you can see it. Return of the Aliens Deadly Spawn on the other side. and like I said, Blu-ray and 4K. Let's talk about the special features because they definitely did a great job on that. Let's look at the back right there. Obviously, the limited edition contents talks about all that stuff with the book, the photographs, and all that. Brand new 4K restoration from 16mm negative, presented in aspect ratios 137 and 161. Stop. Don't be a sissy and do the 166? Don't do that. Don't do the 166. It stretches the image. Be a man and watch it in 137, 4:3 VHS size, whatever it is, the old TV size. It looks perfect that way. Do not do the stretchy one. Do the 137. 4K disc and presented in Dolby Vision with HDR10 compatible. For the first time ever, the audio options featured the original producer's mix as well as the 21st Century Films Corporation theatrical mix and lossless DTS master. I did the original producer's mix. 3 audio commentaries with producers, directors, cast, and crew. Face-off, an interview with actress Elizabeth Marner Brooks. Return to the Spawning Grounds, a new featurette featuring a modern-day tour of the house location. A visit with John Dodds in the Deadly Spawn vintage featurette. The Deadly Spawn comic prequel sampler. Various TV news clips featuring promotion and interviews from the film. Take 1, vintage public access show segments featuring an interview with editor Mark Hardwood. Original audition tapes, behind the scenes, alternate opening, credit sequence, still gallery, TV spots, and theatrical trailers. So guys, I mean, I think that this release is about as good as you can honestly get. And, that's good. That's what I expect that from Synapse, because honestly, their quality is pretty. I mean, when you look at the stuff they do, it's hard to deny that they don't do an absolutely fantastic job with restorations and stuff when you watch them. A lot of these companies have gotten really good at it. These boutiques have gotten really good at it. I'll even give Scream Factory credit. A lot of their 4Ks are pretty good. TerraVision's great with all their restorations. Vinegar Syndrome, I mean, they are quite good, as well as others. And Synapse, they are pretty up there with the rest. So, guys, I got to give this release 2 thumbs up. It is pricey, but this, like I said, this is the only release I can really recommend people to use. Like, other than that, they don't look great. This one actually looks good. I love 16mm in 4K. That's just me, though. Let me know what you guys think, guys. Deadly Spawn in 4K, a B-movie classic. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.